Hi, everyone. Um, yeah, just a warm welcome to our announcement webinar. Thank you so much for joining us. Today, we're looking to share a little bit about what we have in store for this new chapter at EyeQuant. And as some of you might know, my name is Manuel. I'm the head of customer success, and I've worked with a few of you, hopefully. And I'll be hosting the session. And yeah, just on behalf of the entire EyeQuant team, just wanted to say thank you guys so much for taking time out of your busy schedules to join us. So we're really excited to have you here, and this session I think is a special one. We're really looking to pull back the curtain to share some significant company updates, and more importantly, really looking to give you guys an exclusive look at the powerful new innovations we're building to help you design, with greater confidence, speed, and impact than ever before. So whether you guys are long-term partners or just getting to know us, our aim for the next 30 to 40 minutes is to provide you with some valuable insights and a clear vision for the future of data-driven design. Now, we have a great lineup for you today, designed to hopefully be insightful and valuable. So we'll walk through a reminder of what the core problems that we are all facing and hopefully how we help solve them. Then our CEO, Kramer Reeves, will share some major company news and set the stage for everything to come, like how EyeQuant turns attention into a measurable solution. After which, our head of product, Andrew Draper, will take us on a tour of our upcoming product releases and roadmap, as well as a demo of some of these updates live, which I'm very excited for you guys to see. Um, then we'll look at how you guys can get involved and shape that future with us through our design partner program. And finally, we'll wrap up with a live Q&A where you can put your questions directly to Kramer and the team. But really, our goal today is for you guys to walk away with a clear roadmap to eliminate guesswork, align your team with data, and create high-performing digital experiences that capture attention and drive measurable results. And throughout, I'll be sending out a poll during the webinar, so we'd love to get your feedback. If you're not able to do it during the call, that's all right. We'll send the questions out with the recording of the webinar. Now, let's dive in. So before we talk about solutions, we need to talk about the reality so many of us face, which is, how often does it feel as though your team or you are designing in the dark? We rely maybe on subjective opinions, endless debates on CTA colors, image placements with no data to back up those kind of decisions. And it feels very much like gut feel versus personal preference, which slows everything down. And traditional testing can be a real bottleneck. Real eye tracking studies and in-person tracking studies are incredibly valuable, but they can cost tens of thousands of dollars and take weeks to organize as well, which means you simply can't test frequently, and it looks to really stifle innovation and iteration. And the cost of getting it wrong is huge, right? In today's hyper-competitive digital landscape, visual clutter and hierarchy and poor hierarchy rather aren't just sort of aesthetic issues, they're conversion killers. So we see that confusing designs can cause up to 30 to 50% loss in conversion rates. So for example, for a website generating millions of dollars in revenue, that's leaving hundreds of thousands of dollars on the table every single year. And this is really what we believe to be the core challenge and what we look to solve by turning attention into measurable science. Now, for what we have coming next, I'd love to introduce you guys to our CEO, Kramer Reeves, who's going to talk to you about some of the exciting updates and changes we have coming up. Kramer?
Thanks, Manuel. And I'll just add one more point to the challenges we're seeing with clients. It's always important for us in the technology industry to have a foundation of sort of business understanding as we're building out solutions. We can't just have great tech for tech's sake. We have to build software, and even now with AI, we get to have some of the AI building our software to solve a specific problem or a set of problems. And this problem that Manuel described is a great challenge for us to tackle, and a great challenge for us to tackle now. The market has evolved. Predictive analytics has matured. The artificial intelligence world has moved to a point of adaptability. Probably everybody on this call uses ChatGPT for some purpose. Marketers everywhere are recognizing the ability to speed up time to value, time to market, and the importance of ensuring that the creatives and the deliverables they're building meet their ICPs where they are in that buying journey. But we're still seeing a huge hill for these marketers, designers, optimizers that we're working with to embrace testing earlier in that journey, i.e. at the beginning. And one stat that I'll add to this is that less than 10% of creatives are being tested pre-production. And that's really where we want to insert ourselves. We want to be a pre-production testing environment. Lots of people are testing post-production. We want to get in front of the execution and deployment of the creatives. Only 10% of folks are doing that today, less than 10%, in fact. So if you're on the call, then this is a fantastic opportunity, and you're ahead of the curve to capitalize on the tech and the approach, all the artificial intelligence that's been percolating over the last 10, 15 years, and especially with EyeQuant. So with that, with this challenge, let's talk a little bit about the new and really next chapter for EyeQuant. Three major updates that we wanted to share with you all. In order to continue to evolve and deliver innovation, to bring in the top technologists, to reward and retain the team, to serve our clients. All of this requires a phase of investment that really puts us into a hyper growth mode. And we're fortunate to have an additional set of investors to come on board, including some of our current investors for another round. And this just takes, it's basically putting more jet fuel in the rocket ship, and it allows us to move faster and even more efficiently. On top of that, we have brought in some additional and expanded leadership. I'm fortunate to be here as the new CEO. Charlie, who's been holding the reins so wonderfully the last few years, is moving into a new role, helping to expand our global enterprise sales function. We've brought in Andrew, who's our new head of product. You'll hear from him in just a second. We continue with fantastic scientists and researchers in our engineering and our R&D department. We continue to expand our relationship with the universities, and some of the deeper model builds that are happening. We'll highlight some of those in a bit. We've also brought in new business development and expanded security and development and operations and more. So leadership expands, and with that also, we've established our headquarters in Research Triangle Park in the United States. It gives us access to the Western Hemisphere. We maintain our presence in Great Britain. We maintain our presence with our labs and many of our engineers based in Germany. And we've also now expanded into the Middle East as well. So this is a fantastic chapter for us, a fantastic chapter for the team, and we're just super excited about what's about to happen. Most importantly, though, it's for our customers and our partners that service remains unchanged. will start the novation process. Some of the mechanics you'll start receiving notifications about, but the experience you've expected continues. And with that, we also get to expand capabilities even faster. So if we talk about the challenge, we've now established our company in the next phase of growth. Let's get into the solution. So just a reminder, most of you have a good understanding of what EyeQuant is all about. Predicting attention. That's what we do. And we've talked about attention. You've heard this. It's the new currency. For the last few years now, grabbing attention, establishing attention, maintaining that attention with your clients, with your prospects, with your core market is what many of our clients and partners have asked us to help them do. We have developed over the years a fantastic model with the help of a few of the universities, starting with Caltech and Osnabrück, to allow us to develop not just a core platform, but really a platform that's backed by 6 specific visual models to predict attention. These include scoring, they include type of insights and data that gives you science and gives you the confidence to make the decisions you want in your designs, to optimize, to improve, and to continue to deliver against those outcomes you're trying to achieve. So this is all good, and there's new stuff coming, but it has to be based on the use cases that you, our clients, are seeing. And we've got a set of these that Manuel has been focused on. We've been doing a lot of work, making the rounds. We're talking to a lot of you now to get that input, and that's what the next chapter is based on. So I'll turn it back over to Manuel. Let's talk a little bit about those use cases as a reminder of some of the key problems that we've been solving and continue to solve.
Absolutely. Thank you, Kramer. So yeah, just to sort of wrap up, what we're doing here isn't about replacing your team's creativity or intuition. It's about empowering your expertise with this undeniable data. It's about giving you a shared language that aligns stakeholders, and ends subjective debates, and ensuring you launch with that confidence that your design will perform. So what does this confidence look like? I'd love to take you through a couple examples of, real world results that we see across different industries with our current client base. So this is how our clients are finding solutions to the very challenges that you likely face every day with the use of EyeQuant. So let's start with advertising and marketing agencies. We know that the pressure is on to prove creative impact, and the solution that they found is the ability to validate every ad, email, and landing page before a single dollar spent on media. Right. So this not only boosts campaign performance, but also becomes a powerful tool to win new businesses, using objective data to demonstrate why their designs will outperform the competition. And for e-commerce and CRO leaders, the challenge is knowing where to focus, right? So the solution is using predictive attention data to instantly identify friction points on key pages and objectively prioritize their A/B testing roadmap. So this means that they stop guessing and start testing what really matters, driving conversions faster and more efficiently. And when we think of retail, and luxury brands, maintaining a premium experience everywhere is really non-negotiable. So they use these insights to benchmark their visuals against competitors and ensure their brand looks its best even on partner sites, so turning even third-party pages into brand building assets for them. Now, the other industries that we're really focusing on and supporting are the financial services and insurance companies. So they operate in a world of complex information and strict regulations, right? So for them, the solution is twofold. Simplifying intimidating quote journeys to boost completion rates, and using visual clarity to ensure policy documents and disclosures are genuinely understandable. This builds trust with customers and significantly reduces compliance risks. And likewise, when we're looking at pharma and healthcare, the stakes are incredibly high, right? Teams need to ensure critical information for healthcare professionals and patients is not just delivered, but actually seen and understood. So this is all within a strict compliance framework. And the value here is pre-launch certainty that their digital assets are clear, engaging, and compliant from the get-go. And finally, looking at CPG and packaging design teams, they faced an age-old problem of the slow, expensive cycle of physical testing. And they now have the opportunity to fundamentally transform this. Now they can test dozens of packaging designs in minutes, not months, confidently knowing which variation will stand out in a crowded shelf and resonate as thumbnails online. That slashes, time to market and gives them powerful competitive edge. Now, just to bring this all together, the common thread is, all of these industries and clients that found a way to replace costly debates and guesswork with scalable data-driven processes. And these use cases and sort of, stories are powerful because they show a fundamental shift from debating what might work to knowing what will work. But our commitment to you doesn't stop at solving today's problems. It's about anticipating your needs for tomorrow. So we asked ourselves, how can we make this process even more intuitive, more integrated, and more insightful for you? And to answer that question and show you what's coming, I'd like to invite our head of product, Andrew Draper. Andrew, the team have been building the next chapter of this solution, and he's here to share our vision and a live demo of these innovations heading your way. So yeah, Andrew, take it away.
Thanks, Manuel. So we've talked about predicting attention. Most of you have probably experienced EyeQuant predicting attention, but we asked ourselves really deeply, is that enough? And I think in today's world, it's really not. So we want to really position ourselves and move ourselves toward being the leaders of predictive design intelligence, ensuring all designs accessible, actionable, and adaptive. So what that means is we want to be the default design validation engine for all creative teams and all creatives. So if I could ask one thing of everybody on this call, it would be to answer us when we asked, why are you not running all of your creative through iQuant, and what would it take for you to for your entire company, all creative that's being created, being analyzed by iQuant so that you can get some of those amazing insights. So with that, I'd like to show you. So today we're going to show you three things. I'm going to lightly talk about some other things. So today we've completely refreshed the user experience of iQuant. We've modernized it, we've cleaned it up, we've built a foundation for future updates, but really what we've done is introduce some really minimal design to showcase your creative and showcase the visualizations of our analysis so you can get your insights quickly and easily through just a nice refined user experience. We're adding in explanations for everything. We're adding in an LLM-based summary of the analysis. It takes in all the great information you're used to, summarizes it in a way that you could copy, you could share with your various stakeholders, and really easily understand what's working and what's not working within your design. Natural extension of that is to show recommendations to the creative person doing the work or the optimization person to really tell them, like, here's some really great ways you could enhance the design. And it's not about doing that for them, it's about giving them a leg up and speeding them up towards the next step of that journey of creating very compelling creative. Some of you may have seen in our proof of concept the ability to chat with your analysis. That's coming fast on the heels of today's announcements. It's really cool. I actually saw the second version of that yesterday morning, and it's truly agentic. It's truly conversational. It's quite a leap up from what we've shared over the last couple of months. So I'm very excited about getting to that. We have a benchmark agent that allows you to, in a truly agentic and chat-based way, using just plain text, input your creative, have the agent go out, find your competitive, chat with about the competitors. It will go out and find the actual creative that matches your creative from your competitors, whether that's a social ad, whether that's landing pages or anything in between. From there, it'll run an analysis on each of them and then create a report to really show where you benchmark against your competitors. Doesn't just work for competitors. You can run it against your previous creative, your imagination really here. Anything you want to compare can be compared through this benchmark agents. It's quite cool. Um, the other thing we want to do in talking about the refreshed user experience and all of these things is we really want to meet you where you work. This jumping back and forth between tools, it breaks the creative process, it breaks your workflow. And really flow as a mountain biker, flow is everything to me. So this is what we want to do is within Figma, we're going to update our plugin. You're going to be able to run analyses directly within Figma, get your insights, get your summaries or recommendations right there, work with it, rerun your analysis, and really speed up that process of being super confident that this design and this creative is going to accomplish the goals that you want. And with that, think it's demo time. See if Zoom can see
And
if this works.
as Andrew's bringing that up, I'll just make another comment to piggyback on the point of integrating into your workflow. Figma is one example of how we want to do that and meet you where you are spending your time, but there's also other platforms and other capabilities. You'll hear more announcements about those in the coming weeks and months. But the core concept is this should not be a swivel chair pivot to a different app. This should all just seamlessly flow throughout where you're actually spending your day. And if it's Figma, as we have today, that should be even better, a better experience. So stay tuned for that. And it looks good. I see your screen. Andrew, back to you.
Perfect. Just to piggyback on that, if you don't use Figma, we would love to hear from you what other tools you're using and what other places you would love to experience EyeQuant. We actually have a very small proof of concept where we're working directly within ChatGPT and Claude to give it images, and it is running analyses through EyeQuant. If you're familiar with MCP technology, it's based on that. It's quite cool to experience that. We have over 10 AI models that we're trying to figure out what to research and build. We'd love your feedback on that. But today we have the new user interface. So what you should see on your screen right now is the new dashboard, which starts with the most recent analyses you've run so that you can quickly jump back into your work. Also part of just keeping you within the flow. Also have very quick access to our current Figma plugin, our current Chrome extensions for static image and video analyses. And some of you may not even know we have this API, but we have this fantastic API. If you remember our proof of concept, if we've talked to you in the last couple months, we build directly on the API. What you access is what we access. We are very much an API first company. UI is just how you interact with our APIs. So have a look at the documentation. If you'd like some help, this is a place I'm kind of passionate about. I really love working with our API. It's great. Um, we've also doubled down on, well, we have this, I should mention, we have this simple navigation, keeping it as clean as possible. We've doubled down on the concept of projects so that you can very easily organize everything. I'll show you quickly near the end of this demo where while you're running your analyses. And the beauty of live demos, apparently we're going to be a little slow. Um, so you see our projects, some beautiful big images, really focusing on your creative. You can see I've got a bunch of different projects here. You can see I used EyeQuant to build EyeQuant in the lower left here. But I'll just jump into some some analyses I've already run here and quickly show you, well, maybe not quickly, I'll try to slow it down, the new analysis view. You can see here we have the same great overlays and visualizations that you've come to know and love. You have your clarity score. You can just quickly switch between these. If this happens to be an ad, you can get an ad visibility score to really understand how is it going to stand out within a publication, within various areas, and like what will you, how visible will it be? We have, the ability to view as a new visitor or an engaged visitor. We still have the ability to download a report, to share your analyses, to comment back and forth. This new one is kind of awesome. We will always provide a textual summary of the analysis that you've run, starting with a quick summary. I don't know why this one decided to tell you it's data driven, but I will double down on what our LLM has decided. And it is truly data driven. It is actually looking at all of the visualizations. It's looking at your creative, and it's returning this summary based on the scoring. We can see here that our clarity is pretty good, and it will reference that the core copy, the headline, subhead, the scan, and is very legible. We can see here we have some visual impact that's rather weak. If we look, I'm inclined to agree with that. It's not all that exciting. It's just some static screens of an application. Doesn't really get me excited as a visitor. So maybe I can work on that. It does this, I very much love. It doesn't just tell you what's wrong. It tells you what's working really well and what you should really work to not change, which I think as a designer is super important. You get caught up in the weeds sometimes and you worry that things aren't working and you throw out things that are actually working. So we double down on that. And right before we even tell you anything, we focus on what's working in your design. And then, of course, there's always something you can improve. It's up to you to decide when you're done improving, but I like to think it's getting those scores above at least 80 or 90% in your EyeQuant analysis is telling you when to stop. Some suggestions can be, you know, this one I have to say is if you do any conversion optimization, or if the joke in most design circles, make the buttons bigger, make the logos bigger. Our suggestions rarely are detour too far from good design. And unfortunately for us designers who like making fine things very detailed, making things bigger is always a good thing. And it hurts me to say that, but it's very true. We'll go through some of your the various analyses and tell you how to boost visual excitement, emotional appeal. And we've got some really cool models around emotion we're looking at too, I should mention as a sneak peek. You can see here one of the fixes that's suggested. Swap the hero image for a higher energy visual, doubling down on the quick summary. Again, if we look at the analysis on the left, that feels like probably a good thing we can look at. A bold accent color, it is pretty bland. If I look at it, the maroon in the word minus, it's not doing a lot to bring a ton of focus to it. It kind of blends in with the black, if I'm being truly honest. So we can go through some of this. It will suggest A/B tests if you're into that kind of thing, and then give you just a quick prioritized action list of things you can do to increase these, and then rerun your analysis and get a higher score. The recommendations tab really just doubles down on that summary and gets into greater detail. Focuses on, some micro copy on the button could help reduce friction where it says get notified. Increase your CTA, it'll give you a suggestion. You can try all of these, rerun your analyses, and increase your scores. Just quickly, one more thing that I'd like to do before I move on is the ability to compare. We can look at other designs. So this is a previous design I had done for this landing page, and we can now compare these, get all the same great insights. A very near future update will be the ability to get summary and recommendations on your comparisons, which I think is very important to understand. Where I can see, in this case, the logo is getting a lot of information, a lot of attention here, and it flows right through my title into my button. In this one, maybe I'm actually passing the button and dropping down to easy to use. So perhaps this original version was actually better. So I can get all kinds of those great insights from there. With that, I'd love to show you. This is one of my favorite screens in the entire product. As simple as it looks, it's actually got some great stuff in it. It starts out with this big ass box, which allows you to drag and drop files. You can just type a URL if you like. And the cool thing is, you no longer have to choose a model. So if I select a file, you can see that just read that it's a static file and automatically change the model to the appropriate model to run the analysis. We can toggle between desktop and mobile. And the newest one piece of this ability when you're creating your analysis is always being organizational, where you can select a project, create a new project on the fly to ensure your analyses are always easy to find. You can input the intent of your design, such as driving signups, encouraging purchases, awareness, anything you can add there. We have the ability to describe the design. It's a landing page for a SaaS app. It's a advertisement for Heinz ketchup. Anything you can put in there, all of this information is used to help the LLM, the summary recommendations, and soon the chat to get much better information and really help you understand those insights in a big way.
Yeah, Andrew, this is fantastic. Congrats to you and the team. Kudos to the designers, Andre, Felix in engineering, Sebastian on the back end, all the rest of the folks. Just this is looking good. Another key point here, on top of what Andrew said, I just want to really reiterate that middle box. What's the intent of this design? Now, this is the beginning of a key next set of deliverables that were coming into the product. It's the beginning of tying the intended output, the intended outcome to the actual deliverable and making that even much more intelligent. Right now, we're getting the beginning of tying the outcome to the intent. Now we have the foundation, we have the mechanics. Operationally, we can do this. The next step you're going to see very soon is then tying it to the outcome metrics that you're actually measuring out there today. That will begin this closed loop journey that we've heard you asking for. But this was the first step. It's a key one, and the team has got this right to start the connection of outcome and intent together. So great job, and I'm excited to get this out to you all, our clients, very shortly. And we're going to talk about that timing here in just a sec.
I'll hand the screen back to you, Manuel, quickly. I can now talk to Design Partner Program. So as designers, we love to think we have all the answers. We love to quietly sit in our office and come up with the most beautiful things possible and believe it's the greatest thing on earth. Never survives the end user, doesn't survive my wife, ever. Uh, so we've come up with this design partner program. None of these ideas we've just shown you happen in a vacuum. We need feedback. We love feedback. So I've decided we're going to start this design program, partner program, which allows you early access to features we're working on, allows you to help shape and direct those features, allows you to suggest features that you think would be really great to help you achieve your goals in your job, and gives you direct access, not just to me, but to our entire team, to provide that feedback, to work with us in any way you feel would be helpful. It gives us the ability to just really be confident in what we're delivering to you. So if this is of any interest to you at all, the only ask is always that you, if you get access to anything, you always provide feedback. And 30 minutes of your time on a quarterly basis would, at a minimum, would be what we would ask, to be able to just ask you questions. It may be about features we're working on. It may be about future facing things we don't even know if we're going to put into the product yet. But with that, I will pass it back to Manuel, and we can move on to the next step of the webinar.
Great. Thank you so much, Andrew. So excited that we got to show everyone some of what we got cooking up. And yeah, really, guys, I think we want to just open the floor up to any questions anyone might have based on what we've shown you, based on your current experience with the tool, any questions you might have on what's coming up or the roadmap that we've shown you. So yeah, please, if anyone has a question, now would be the perfect time for it.
Okay, looks like one of our questions has come in, and I'll take this one, Andrew. Perhaps you can answer as well. The question about privacy and data, given some of the expanded capabilities and new functionality, these recommendations and the summary analysis that you all see, that is all funneling through EyeQuant. And one of the key things that we want to talk about is the separation of the data in here, and that we don't retain any of your PI, any of that kind of privacy. All of the firewalls are maintained, and in fact continue to be extremely protective of all of your information. Andrew, I don't think anything changes now that we've expanded our reach with the MCPs, but if you want to comment, just so folks hear the official word on that.
The official word is exactly what you said. Nothing changes. We are very privacy and security focused. Um, yeah, all of that very much important to all of us. I've always, throughout my career, taken pride in really paying attention to that. So you can rest assured that is one of our first thoughts for sure.
Great.
Amazing. And we have another question here from Andy. He wants to confirm if it works, iQuant works for all channels and not just digital. So, billboards, packaging, etc. So I mentioned this earlier, Andy, and yes, we do work with clients that use iQuant for packaging or sort of live situations. And even though the model and how it was trained was from a digital aspect, it still takes the general way that the eye works, which is something that doesn't change greatly in these different channels. So you're able to use it for, yeah, things like billboards, for packaging, for, looking at shelving, for example. Yeah, as well as obviously all of your digital needs. As long as you could run it through the system itself, you'll be able to get any insights that you're looking for. I hope that answered your question, Andy, but please feel free to ask some more if you need a little bit more information there. All right. Anyone else have any questions for Kramer or the team? All right. Well, hopefully that means everything was nice, clean, and clear, and you guys are as excited as we are about what we have coming up. But yeah, just wanted to sort of rehash that we've, obviously gone through everything from identifying what we believe the problem to be to providing what we propose as a solution through EyeQuant, and hopefully showing you guys what the future we're building to make sure that, these solutions are even more powerful for you and for your teams. But really the most powerful stories come from you, from our clients, from the users of the tool. And that's why we're already planning our next session for the end of October, where we hope to have one of our amazing clients share how they eliminate internal debates, accelerate their processes, and start driving measurable results with certainty. So yeah, if you guys are interested in joining us for that webinar or actually being the client that talks about your success with EyeQuant, please feel free to drop us a message. But yeah, keep an eye out in your inbox for that invite. And yeah, if there's nothing else the team wants to add, yeah, go on.
One more follow-up just that came in. When are the capabilities available? Did Manuel or Andrew, did you want to discuss a little bit about the big reveal here within the product? So we got some exciting, one final exciting unveiling. That's a literal unveiling that's going to show up here shortly. Go ahead, Andrew.
Yeah, so you'll be able to access it today, depending on your time zone, but today,
Yeah.
tomorrow. Um, you'll still be able to access app.iquant.com. We'll have a banner across the top that will tell you to get early access with a button. we will seamlessly be able to switch over to what we're calling the lab, to be able to experience the new analyses, the new summaries, the recommendations. We're calling it early access just so that we can continue to put a little bit more polish onto it. If you encounter anything, please use the chat icon in the bottom right of the new experience. Let us know. We're working diligently. There'll probably be a couple updates go out today, probably almost daily over the next little while. But yeah, so you'll be able to access that today. I think Manuel mentioned we're going to send out an email, but it'll also be linked in the existing interface. We're hoping to hold on to that old interface for about 30 days as we get new feedback for the new experience. And then we'll transition into what I showed you today as our true full foundational experience of to let us go to the future. So, yeah.
Great, great. Thank you, Andrew. What the team has done is really incredible over the last few months, being able to accelerate the development, and it's a testament to not only what the market needs, but the speed that we can achieve those desires, but also a prediction of how quickly we're going to be moving in the next few months. So chapter one of our next part of this journey has begun. You'll see another release, another set of capabilities at the end of October, and more exciting innovation just behind that as well. So stay tuned. Manuel, thanks a lot for hosting. That's all I have. Andrew, anything else on your end?
I think I'm good on my end.
All
It's
right.
been fun.
Great. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you guys so much for joining. And yeah, we hope to see you at the next webinar. All right. Take care, everyone.